Do you have fake people in the form of fake friends showing fake love straight up to your face? In this episode, I'm going to share with you the most effective, healthy way to expose them that won't leave you wasting your time or draining your energy, and actually will leave you more successful in the end. Welcome to another episode of Holistic Lifestyle Coaching with Ryan David. I'm Ryan David, and today I want to talk a little bit about the most effective way to expose people who are phony, specifically friends or people that are around you on an everyday basis. And there's a couple of ways to go about doing this. First and foremost, the inspiration for this episode came from a conversation I had with a good buddy of my younger cousins. Those guys are 20, 21 years old. What up, Champ? What up, Parker? What up, Jason? Matt, I see you. So those guys are young. They just got out of high school. They're either in college or they're transitioning to college. And I had a conversation with him about making moves, about that transitional stage right after high school, in between college, and making the moves in his life that can really move him forward. So that conversation led to talking about friends, and I told him a lot of the reasons why people stay where they are is because they're comfortable with the friends that they have. So that got us to talking about how making moves sometimes requires changing friends, new friends, and growing apart from people. And I started talking to him about at some point he's gonna have to take a look at his inner circle. And that led to a discussion that really stimulated an idea for this conversation. You know, Jim Rohn says, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. Do that math and see if you like the result. You know, Maurice Claret might have said it best. He says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. On that note, you gotta really take a good look at your inner circle, who you call your best friends, who you spend the most time with, and see how much of an investment do they have in you, and not only in you now, but in your future, because that's where you wanna go. It's about growth. The problem with most people when they're trying to figure out who's fake and who's not, who's real and who's not, most people become a detective. They spend a lot of energy, a lot of time, and they get all detective-like, and they wanna go find out and figure out and solve the mystery, and they go put in the work to find out who's fake and who's not. What you're gonna find out today is that's absolutely the wrong way to go about finding who's meaningful, who's real, and who's fake, and who's gonna be there in your life and who's not. And if we really look at the people that are in our lives, friends, people that are in our lives on a regular everyday basis, most people are in our lives out of convenience. They're in our lives because of the situation or the circumstances that we're all in together. So it's almost a convenience thing or situational thing. There's only one thing that will absolutely expose people for who they are, real or fake. And that one thing is change. Change will bring everything to light. True colors will show, everything will be exposed. Change is the only way to see who's invested in you and not just the circumstances or situation that you both find yourself in on a regular basis. Now there's 2 ways to create change and the change that will expose this: time and situation. Now time will passively lead to change. Over time, things change naturally. And so you might think or look at relationships that you have, friendships that you have, and say, well, how do I know? Because I've been best friends, or I've been friends with this person since middle school or since elementary school, or 10 years now, 15 years. Isn't that a long time? Yes, that's a long time, but because it's passive, time is not enough. Those people may have grown or moved right along with you conveniently as you move through those years. So time isn't enough because it's passive. It naturally happens, and those changes may not be enough of a shift to take place to expose people for who they really are over that period of time. Now, the second change that can expose people for who they really are and how invested they are in you are when situations change. So situations can change, and you will see who and how somebody reacts or responds as far as their friendship or their relationship with you. So now you might be saying, well, I've known them for a long time, and actually when things got rough or things went bad or I hit a hard spot, they were there for me during those times. Of course they were, I would say to you. Now, situations can change in 2 ways. The first one is they can get worse. The second one is they can get better. When things get worse, that's passive. You didn't choose that. It just happened. Also, when things get worse, people can fake or pretend or front or help you through those times, and it may not genuinely be who they are. And they're doing that because they know when things get worse, most of the time, it's temporary, and eventually you will recover or rebound or get better. So if they abandon you when things get worse, it's going to be an obvious sign that they're fake or phony. Also, helping you when things are rough or when you're down and out is almost like an investment for an IOU in case things go poorly for them. Along with that, they may relish in the fact that you're doing poorly or doing bad and maybe throw you a helping hand just to feel good about themselves in the process. And at the same time, people feel compelled to help someone who's doing bad or is worse off than they are. So along with time, situations changing for the worse are not necessarily the best indicator either. I want you to focus more on things getting better. When there's an active change in your life for the better, that's more permanent, and that will expose envy and jealousy for those around you who do not want you to elevate your game or step it up to the next level and make a permanent change for the better in your life. It will also expose those who support you. So I'm doing this video to tell you this one thing. Situations changing for the better in your life are the #1 way for you to find out who's real and who's fake. So my message for you is to step it up, turn that corner, create some progress and some growth in your life. And the bottom line is, instead of focusing on them and seeking out and trying to figure out and putting energy into them, take the energy that you would use to investigate or try to find out what someone else is about and how dedicated they are to you. Take that energy, put it back towards yourself, invest in yourself to grow and make some progress. And as you make that progress and you grow, then you will see who around you comes with you. And don't just talk about it, and don't just attempt it. Commit yourself to the process and results of gaining something else in your life, working towards something, achieving something, making progress, growth in your life. And your life will change when you make progress and growth. And from that change, that positive change in your life, when things change for the better from your achievements and your accomplishments, you're gonna see the people who are circumstantial, situational, and temporary, they're gonna stay behind. They're not gonna go with you because your new changes in your life for the better are not in line with who and how and what they knew of you back when they knew you when you were in that spot. Now, you're not dissing anybody or leaving anybody behind or disrespecting anybody, but you've got to grow and you've got to change. And the people who are committed and dedicated to you, your real true friends, they'll turn that corner with you. They'll stay along for the ride or die. So understand, if you are focusing your efforts at trying to find out who and how and what somebody else is, you're doing it the wrong way. Focus your efforts on yourself. Step it up a notch. Take that next step, get to the next level, work on something for yourself. When you achieve that growth, that will expose the people around you. When you make progress, that will expose the people around you. That will show you who's there, who's not. If you graduated from high school, make that move to college, enroll in those classes, take that promotion, dedicate more time to yourself throughout the week. Whatever it is, dedicate time to growth and progress in a way that maybe you haven't before and will be new to your inner circle. And from those changes you make in yourself, all you have to do is pay attention and see who's cool with the moves and who's kind of like, yeah, nah, he's on some other stuff, or she's done changed, or I'm not with all that. Well, if you ain't with all that, I'm not with you anymore. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to make progress. And that energy is all to you. See, as you get older, you don't have this problem because you settle in. The people who are about staying with you, they've stayed with you and you've gotten them and you're good with them. And you're not about trying to make new friends or figure it out because you already know and you have what you have. And so as you get older, you don't have to worry about this because time has done its thing. You've made progress and some achievements in your life. That's done its thing. And you see who you have left. So you have who matters, and everybody else, you just kind of take it for what it is. And if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know what you need to know. But when you're younger, sometimes we need to figure this out. So right now, if you're the type that's not sure, you're not really sure about who's in your life, who's real, who's not, don't worry about them right now. Just pay attention as you work on making progress in your own life. Look and see what they do and how they act and how they respond, if they support you or not. And like I said, they're gonna support you at first because it sounds good and everybody wants to be that, yay, good job, hopefully you do well for yourself. Do well. And when you do well, then see where they are. It's one thing for people to say they want you to do well, another thing for them to be around when you are actually doing well. Do well for yourself, pay attention to who's around you, see who comes along for the ride, see who stays behind. Real quick before I let you go, there's one other way that you can find out or expose the people around you as well, and that is get into a relationship. And don't just go jump into a relationship to find out, but when you do get into a relationship, you meet someone you like, someone you're interested in, someone that makes you happy, and you start to spend time with them. A lot of the times, friends will act funny. People will act different and they will change. When you get into a relationship, your real friends should support you. They should be understanding. They should give you the time and space. They should be supportive of whatever it is that you're interested in with this new person. And I'm not talking about friends who are looking out for you that are worried that you're in an abusive relationship. Obviously, they're going to have something to say about it. But I'm talking about a normal, regular relationship that you haven't been in before that you're in. When you get into a relationship, oftentimes, you'll see friends either being supportive or pulling back or acting funny. Now, friends aren't jealous. Real friends don't get jealous. They understand how to share you, how to spend time with you, and they know you are your own person. They'll support your decisions and they want to see you happy. And if being with someone else or being in a relationship makes you happy, they're happy for you. So being in a relationship can also be an eye-opener too as to who's supportive, who's not. So keep that in mind as well. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you found it useful. Leave me a thumbs up if you like the content, if it really hit home and it resonated with you, and if it really makes sense. And if you're gonna start putting that energy into yourself and not into other people and kind of pay attention to what they do in the meantime. If you're not subscribed, love it if you do so. I'll see you soon in the next episode. Until then, take care. Then you will see who around you comes with you. There's a bug in here, and I'm gonna wreck this whole motherfucking set because it happens every goddamn time. Get a fucking life, Larry. Oh man, if I had a fly swatter, bruh. Clipboard to do it. Watch this. If I break these lights, it's gonna be a minute before I see you on the next episode. Be gone. Now I can't see because I'm staring at a bulb.
I got fake people showing fake love to me, straight up to my face. Straight up to my face.